Hi, I wanted to film this short video just to go over the midterm exam to hopefully help people if they had any questions. So this is a midterm for History 104, and the midterm can be found here in week number 6. I'm posting it now sometime on March 9th. Officially, week 6 starts next week on the 15th, and the exam is not due until the 21st. So scroll down here. I'm going to post this video right here, midterm intro video for you to watch. And then, just read through the exam. As I said, there's the due date. You turn it in on Blackboard just by clicking here. Turn in by clicking here. It takes you to another screen where you can attach a file, or you can copy and paste your submission into this field, and then you click submit down there at the bottom. Okay, for the exam itself, it's just divided into 2 different sections, an ID section and a short answer section, and together it adds up to 100 possible points. So for this top part, it says late exams will be penalized unless you've made prior arrangements with me. Basically, just make sure to email me if you have any issue with getting it in on time. I'm hoping because you're getting more than 7 days that everyone should have time to get it done. Then this next part here basically says don't just sort of Google these questions and find stuff on the internet to throw into your answers. Everything that you need to answer the questions are things that we've gone over in this course, things that I've posted or videos or lectures, readings, stuff like that. If you can't find the answer to something and you're really struggling, you can definitely email me and I'll point you in the right direction. And then make sure to write everything in your own answers, whether it's from something we've covered or from something I've posted. Just make sure to put things in your own words. Okay, so in this first section, the identification section. So there's 10, I guess I'm going to say terms here. There, what do we have? I guess we don't have any. Yeah, we have one person. We have a person. We've got an event. We've got institutions, concepts, all kinds of things here. And so each of these is worth 10 points, and the whole section's worth 70 points. So as I said, just answer 7 out of the 10. So you can pick any 7 that you want. And each one's worth 10 points. And for each one, it says answer the who, what, when, where, and why. And that's why it's significant in 3 to 4 sentences. And it says concise but thoroughly detailed sentences. And then basically I just restate the same thing here, where it says for each you need to clearly explain or define the person, event, or thing mentioned in the ID question. So basically tell what it is or who it is or why it's important, that sort of thing. And then it says make sure to detail who was involved, when the person, thing, or event happened or lived. Finally, explain its importance by relating the term's significance to U.S. history. So basically tell me all of these things about whichever of the 7 terms that you pick. It's possible for some of these, you might not be able to find a date, but in general, I think for many of them you can. Just try to go through these questions in your mind after you find the term in whatever material I posted it in, and just see, how many of these can I actually answer, and am I being thorough in talking about what this thing is and why it's important. Okay, and then for section 2, the short answer section, I've got 5 questions here from things that have been covered in the class, and you just pick 3 of them to answer, and I think you can answer in 3 to 4 sentences. You could write more if you want, but I think 3 to 4 sentences should be enough. And again, you can use anything that has been posted in the course, but just limit it to things we've covered in the course. And so these 5 questions. There's one about Reconstruction, essentially. Essentially it's trying to get at the end of Reconstruction, what are these sort of racial terrorism, racial stereotypes, and this lost cause mythology? How do they join together to end Reconstruction and take back a lot of the gains, rights and gains for Black citizens in that era that they had gained during Reconstruction? And then for question 2, this is a really general one. It just talks about the Native American history we've covered and sort of what do you think is most important out of everything you've learned about Native American history so far this semester, and explain why. And then I have another question about the Ludlow Massacre, similar to one of the homework questions. One here that's really tied to one of the documentaries we watched about immigration, where it says, explain in specifics how U.S. foreign policy led to immigration from one specific Latin American nation. So you can pick sort of anyone mentioned in the materials, just sort of like, how did U.S. foreign policy contribute to immigration? And there are many examples in that documentary that we watched. And then finally, according to what we've read this semester, how did Italians go from being thought of as non-white and being discriminated against to gaining inclusion under the umbrella of whiteness? So this was that article that talked about Columbus Day. So that would be a good place to start there. And I guess it's important for that one to make sure you talk about positive and negative aspects of that inclusion. Okay, so that's everything from me for now. Once you go over this video and once you start on the midterm, definitely feel free to email me if you have any questions or aren't sure about something here on the midterm.